Hey there, and welcome to Provo, Utah. Yes, welcome to Provo, Utah. Today I am going to be walking you through some of the pros and cons, advantages, disadvantages of why people are making the move to Provo, and we're going to hop into it right now. Mariah Koehle here. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if this is your very first time here. I'm a licensed and active real estate agent here in Utah, and this channel is literally everything you need to know about eating, working, playing, sleeping, and living here in Utah. If that's of interest to you, consider subscribing down below and make sure you tap that bell for notifications so you're notified every week we drop a new video. We hear from people like you all the time who are looking to make a move, who are looking to relocate, buy or sell a property, or even build a property here in Utah, and we absolutely love it. So if you're thinking about making a move in a week, in a month, or even a year from now, feel free to give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. My team and I would love to connect with you. So it actually doesn't feel that long ago that my husband and I lived in Provo, Utah while he was finishing up graduate school. I was born and raised in California. We were both born and raised actually in Northern California, and he ended up finishing up school in Provo. And so we ended up moving to Provo. He had lived there before, going to school. Once we got married, I lived there for the year. Now, there are some definite things that you should consider or you should know if you are thinking about making a move to Provo. Let's just hop into some of the good things. Some of the good things about Provo, number one, is simply the beauty. The beauty that surrounds Provo is really, really spectacular. You've got that East Bench with, views of Utah Lake. You've got Sundance, and behind you've got Provo Canyon that's very, very close to you. There are so many gorgeous tree-lined streets throughout Provo as well, depending on where you are. You've got kind of the older historical Provo. You've got some of the new. It is a college town though. So for some people, they're like, oh, okay. Which will kind of lead me into a disadvantage for some people. But you've got this beautiful area. And with that being said, you've got Brigham Young University that is right in the heart of Provo. And it's a gorgeous university. It's a beautiful university. Again, lots of trees and just very, very pretty. With that being said, a lot of times in Provo, especially when school is in session, the amount of traffic, the number of students that come to Provo is unbelievable. I remember when we were living there, we had moved in the middle of summer. And so summer term was in session, and the student population was much, much, much smaller. And because of that, traffic was very light, and going to restaurants and everything felt very easy. Well, as soon as that fall term began, holy moly, Provo just took on a ton of, new students that had come in. And because of that, there was a lot more traffic, a lot more congestion that we experienced in and around Provo. But it is so incredibly beautiful, number one. Number two, the walkability. There is you're able to walk and bike a lot of places in and around Provo, whether you're downtown, whether you're near campus, and the public transportation in and around there is really good as well. You'll see a lot of people on scooters. You'll see a lot of people just walking in and around. Number three, it's very active. Like I said, it's very walkable, but there's a lot of people that are out and about. One of people's favorite thing to do is hike the Y. Yes, hike the Y. There is a big Y on the mountain in Provo, and for Brigham Young University, people hike that. I want to say there's maybe 13 switchbacks. I've done it a handful of times, and every time we do it, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is a good leg workout. So if you want a good leg workout, hike the Y. But lots of beautiful things, very active. Like I said, Provo Canyon is so close to Provo as well. And the biking trails that you can hop on from Provo, pretty amazing. And you can just go for miles and miles and miles. There are several marathons. There are several half marathons. There are several fun run races in and around Provo too. So a really, really very active community. With that being said, of a very active, community, same thing with community involvement. There's a lot of participation. A lot of people come out to serve and help and assist within the community. They have different food banks. They have just a lot of community support in and around Provo. So, even when those races come or when those activities come, you will see a huge participation. And the university, Brigham Young University, that's right there, facilitates a lot of that community involvement too, for different holidays and festivals. For the 4th of July, every single year, they have what's called the Freedom Day Festival in Provo. And it's pretty spectacular. They have hot air balloons, they have, soccer games, but then the big kind of thing, they've got a race that it's a 5K race and a 10K race, and it's always over the 4th of July. They also have what's called the Stadium of Fire, a big event with fireworks shows, and they always have like a headline band that ends up playing. They've had Tim McGraw, and they've had, this year it's going to be the Jonas Brothers. So just in the way of community, a lot of fun activities in and around Provo. Also, a big plus for Provo is also the Provo Airport. Yes, the Provo Airport is a regional airport, and that airport, there, flights to California, really flights all over. So research that if you like to travel. Provo is a great airport, and you're also 35 minutes away from the Salt Lake International Airport as well. So you might be thinking to yourself, okay, Mariah, I'm sold on Provo already. I like the outdoors. I like the beauty. I like, the walkability and how active it is, and a strong sense of community. What else could be, what else could be wrong, right? Well, one of the things, like I had mentioned in the beginning, is that student population. As soon as school is in session, you're going to have a huge influx of students, which is wonderful, but also there's a lot of traffic and congestion, longer waits at restaurants and shopping and all of that. So number one, know that. Number two, the housing. Yes, the housing and affordability in Provo has increased significantly over the years. Yes, there are still lots of different housing options, but just know that housing has increased. Next up, limited nightlife. If you are looking for a big nightlife scene, Provo's probably not going to be the place that you are going to want to be, simply because there's not a lot of nightlife options. Some people also that are moving to Provo is known as Happy Valley. Yes, Happy Valley. There are many members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Many people look at that as a huge bonus. Other people feel like, oh, there's just too much of the same all in one area. That's up to you to determine that, but just know that going in. And last but not least, occasionally the air quality in and around Provo can, just not be as clean and crisp and clear as in some of the other areas. So the air quality, occasionally, they used to have a steel mill in Provo, and because of that, it caused this pollution that would come out. Just know that the air quality occasionally is not as good as some of the other areas, so just be aware of that. So hopefully this gives you an idea of some of the pros and cons of actually living in and around the Provo area. We've got the beauty that surrounds there, the walkability, the active community, strong community ties, and then some of the drawbacks, the traffic, the congestion, and then just, sometimes that air quality that you might experience there as well. And of course, the cost of living and housing has increased. If you are thinking about making a move to Provo or any of the surrounding areas, my team and I hear from people like you all the time, and we absolutely love it. So feel free to give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, and it would be our pleasure to connect with you. And also, if you do want a copy of our free Moving to Utah guide, comment down below the word guide, Guide, and we would be happy to send that over to you. Wishing you a fantastic rest of your day and week, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care. Have a great one. Bye.